looked up, there were overhanging trees throughout this village, and there was a North Vietnamese soldier on a tree branch. And I got real close, and I fell down, or at least I thought I fell down, and that's when I had been shot.
In 2019, we heard the story of Lieutenant Barry Jones and his remarkable Tudor Submariner.
The watch was hit by the bullet that went through my arm. I had it on my left wrist. And so when Laurie was working on my wrist, the watch was kind of just hanging like so. Got this call. Does the name Laurie McLaughlin mean anything? And I said, of course. I said, the watch. I haven't had any other kind of experience in my life that duplicates this process that, you know, has unfolded over the last year.
It's opened me up to speak about my months in Vietnam. And I belong to a few veterans groups that I've been able to share. And it's easier to share with veterans that have experienced some part of this. And they're always amazed by the story and the coincidences that all came about in it.
In the intervening years between when I left the Corps and didn't have the Tudor anymore, it had, in a sense, been lost in that chapter of my history. I didn't have any contact with Laurie in those last 50 years or any inkling of where he was. Things just began to unfold. And here we are, and we shared the same experiences through that watch.
After he was reunited with the watch, Barry was unsure what the future held for his badly damaged Tudor. Its condition seemed to ensure that it would never be anything more than an inanimate memento to his time in Vietnam.
After having the watch for a month or so in the fall of 2018, I didn't have any expectation that there would be even the remotest possibility of repairing the watch. But I thought, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
So some time ago, we in Geneva received a letter from our colleagues at the US affiliate, a letter from a Barry Jones explaining the story of his watch. The general condition of the watch was highly damaged, so not typically something that our restoration team would take. For a company like us, it's a reconnection with our history. We wanted to preserve the look, the scars, the impact marks, to try and keep the watch telling its story while now telling the time as well.
From the outset, technicians working on the project had to assess the current condition of the watch's many components. As the movement was rendered totally non-functional, Barry's watch required a ground-up restoration, and due to the extent of the damage, nearly all aspects of the watch required highly specialized attention from the watchmakers.
The hands on this watch were highly bent. They were stuck to their mount, so it was a challenge first to only just take them off without damaging them more.
With the hands safely removed from the dial, they'd need to be straightened. This was one of the more risky processes because it was difficult to judge just how much stress these 50-year-old hands could endure. It was a conscious effort as well to not relume the hands, but rather to keep each component in its original state.
It is a very different emotional bound to a project when you know the story that led a watch to be in your hands.
Having completed the stage of removing the hands, attention was then placed on the movement, which would need to be broken down, cleaned, and assessed one piece at a time.
Wow.
It's like brain surgery.
Yeah.
We had to discuss with Barry and with our team up to what point we would go. You know, the main talk was, do we fully refurbish the case? The case was heavily bent. It was not round anymore. It was not waterproof. The thread had been broken, so that was a big challenge.
The next task would be to straighten the watch's twisted lugs. How is this done? Well, you need to fashion a custom jig, in this case from brass. Have a strong composition, and an even stronger hammer.
One would think that to reshape stainless steel, you would need to heat it up, which wouldn't be a good idea because it would change the color and the aspect of the metal. So that's why this process has been done cold.
With a little patience, they were able to set the lug straight again. And as you can see, the now reshaped lugs still hold the scars from its past life. Even seemingly insignificant aspects of the watch's original construction have to be re-established, such as reshaping the case back and recutting the threads that accept it.
Wow, it's amazing.
There are all kinds of relationships that have been energized around the watch. In Switzerland, the Marines that I've reconnected with, just since Lori and I've reconnected.
And now, just as though it were 1967, the watch is reassembled again.
At some point, I called Barry to let him know that the watch was functioning. It was a special moment for me. It was sort of the start of the end of the project.
I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing Christophe again. I felt like I had a kind of a bond, a connection with him.
It's not just an object. It is a whole world of history and stories that's beyond the watch. What we're really all looking forward is to be able to put the watch back on his wrists. Jean-Clement.
Hello.
Christophe, welcome back.
Very good to see you.
Good
Welcome
to see you.
back. Yeah, absolutely. Laurie, good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
I've been anticipating this for a long time and looking forward to it as well. Do you guys want to take a seat?
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So there is obviously a reason why we all here today. It's been long in the making, 50 years first, then we heard your story, and the technicians The other colleagues that were involved, everyone that heard about the story was very excited and would want to be here. I'm going to have a lot of questions when I'm going to be back in Switzerland, but we're pretty happy with the outcome. Prepared a little box for you.
Oh boy, Laurie, come on over here where you can see this. Sometimes doesn't work, that it was this shining back in the day.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd been in salt water with it
Yeah.
in the swimming school, and we were in the mud half the time.
Oh, there it is.
There's the mark right there.
I told him I had the watch way longer than he had it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm so happy that that scar is on the outside of the watch.
Yeah.
I'm really moved by this whole experience in more ways than I can express, Christoph. And the months that it took to kind of organize all the pieces leading up to today,
Yeah.
it's been quite an experience.
52 years later, and it's back on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad to see it on your wrist. I hope you wear it a lot.
I will. I will. The lessons around this watch that I've learned, both in Vietnam as well as in real time, will be passed on through my son and his sons. My relationship with him as a father over the years as he matured, this reciprocity and mutual support was an important part of my healing process as a combat veteran. The energy coming through the watch has created all these connections that were dormant or non-existent before. It's kind of liberating in a way. It represents this constancy of utility, of quality, of ingenuity, as contrasted with this digital age where so much is kind of throwaway once it exceeds its lifespan in terms of what it's capable of. It's been proven in a sense that pretty amazing things are possible in terms of taking a timepiece like this and bringing it back to life.